Hello everyone, I think we're alive. I am definitely forgetting stuff. I was running all over. I'm actually out of breath from running all over trying to, I didn't have my mic on. I wasn't even dressed 5 minutes ago. I was in sweats. So yeah, okay. Catching up. Audio's good. We are good to go. So tonight I'm going to show you how to take a standard line drawing like that you did in your sketchbook, and I'm going to show you how to get that onto Inktense and MeWe, which you can't trace on and you don't want to do a ton of erasing on because that paper gets really messed up really fast. So how do you get clean line art, your clean drawing onto your paper? Tracing and transfer paper. So what I do is you can either do this with freehanding, or if you want to just trace off the computer monitor, whichever works for you, take your drawing and trace it onto a piece of tracing paper. Then you're just going to take some white transfer paper, or black in this case, either would work on this paper. You slide that under, use a stylus that I just tossed onto the floor. Ooh, I'm too old to be bending over. Okay, and you just trace over that. What this does is gets a nice clean drawing. I don't have eraser marks all over. I'm sure that the drawing is centered exactly where I want it to go. It just keeps everything nice and clean. So even in this case, I'm going to be using a lot of black. Oh, I need to find my charcoal powder. I have no idea where that is right now. But even though I'm going to have a lot of black on this, I want to make sure that I've got clean lines, because even if I erased, let's say knowing I'm going to cover it, it won't matter if I've got marks all over. The eraser actually starts damaging the tooth of the paper and it looks weirdly textured in spots. So we are going to avoid that tonight. First I have to find my charcoal stuff. Okay, charcoal, there we go. I'm gonna need some soft tools. I was actually almost more ready than I thought I was going to be. Let's see. Soft tools, S-O-F-F-T. These are the same tools that I use for pan pastels. And I'm just going to, we'll just bring this whole box on over. And after the stream, I'm going to show you how to mat your work so it looks nice and professional and is ready to frame. I'm also going to talk a bit about what aquashello is like, some decisions I've made, some fun things I plan to do here on this channel. So I will be talking about all that after the artwork tonight. Oh, and I want to do a box opening. I partially opened the box, but it's in the hall, so I will have to go get that later. Remind me, I may forget. We also have a couple of super chats here. First from Kirsten. Would you boys like a super chat? Come on, you can come get a super chat. Thank you so much. Okay, oops. We've got two here. You are getting pushy, sir. Thank you. And then lay down, lay down. You know the rules. You don't get two in a row like that. Lay down. Gibson. Gibson has been in a I'm not going to do anything you tell me to do all day. Like, it's been weirdly bad. Lay down. He's like, I will take my time. There we go. And then we have from Rick, said need to start the evening night off right with treats for the boys. And I agree. Well, I don't know. The bad cow's actually being the good one. You can't tell. He's actually looking at me from the angle he's at. Okay, you want another super chat? They're like, but we just got one. You're messing with us, right? Rick gave you a super chat. Come on. Thank you so much, Rick. To get the second super chat. That was a nice surprise, huh? Oh, you got spit on you, Wade. Lovely. Okay. Go lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Thank you so much, Rick. You guys are awesome. Okay, Gibson. He's doing it again. He's just standing there looking at me like, no, I don't think I'll do what you tell me to do. Such a bad racing dog. Okay. So there's my drawing. And we are going to remove that. And now I can start with charcoal. Now you'll notice the shark's kind of small considering the size of the paper. I always cut the paper a bit larger, well, in this case, maybe a bit too much larger than I want the end result to be. In the frame, when it's matted, it'll look like this. But I go a bit larger so that I can make sure I pull the charcoal or whatever medium I'm working on all the way out. That way I don't have, like if I move this around, let's say I decided I wanted it farther this way. If I didn't have the charcoal brought out all the way this far, I wouldn't have, like, I'd have an empty spot. So by going a little bit larger, this means it's going to get covered better. Joseph says you need a tiny little jack to go with your beanstalk. Yeah, the plants are getting a bit long. There's one in the back behind the boys too that I need to move them. Oh, what I need to do is water them. Dang, they are thirsty. But I need to hang, they're hanging from a ladder, so I need to move those up. Okay, so this we are going, what happened here? That is not what was open. My reference photo decided to change. There we go. So I'm going to start with my background first. And what I have is this charcoal powder. It doesn't really matter what brand you use. I've not found much difference between any of the browns. This one, the brands, this one is Cretacolor. I used to have another one. I think I lost it. Honestly, they were the same. I couldn't tell the difference. Now, it's also possible I don't use it that often. Maybe I just didn't notice the difference because of that. So I'm going to take a soft tool. I'm going to go ahead and switch the cover on that one just because that was Pan Pastel and I want to stick with charcoal on this. And I get a little box of, like, just store all my little covers in there. And all the links for what I'm using are in the video description. And I've also provided the line art for this. So if you want the reference photo, if you, anything you want, it's available. Link is in the video description over at Patreon. You do not need to be a member to get those. That is free for everybody. So what I'm going to do is just tap my brush in the charcoal powder, tap some of that off. This gets messy, so, you know, be aware of that. And I'm just going to softly go over this. I don't need this to be black. If I need super dark, I can go over it with my pencils. I just want it to be darker. And the reason that I'm doing a gray paper instead of just a black paper, you could do black would look cool too, but I want to be able to use the eraser to erase some of my rays of light and the white charcoal pencil for the rays of light. So we'll be using two methods to get those. Don't worry about the rays of light right now. We're just going to go right over that. And you can see this is kind of falling down. It does get messy. This right here is the charcoal that's falling down. So I will have to wipe my easel when I'm done. I'll just take a wet, like, cloth or something and wipe all that charcoal powder off. I'm just going to keep layering this in there. You can use your charcoal pencils, you can use charcoal sticks, anything you like. The thing that I like about the powder, very much like using graphite powder, it erases really well. So knowing that I want to be able to erase my rays of light, this is going to come off so nicely when I go to pull those in. I just want this to be nice and soft. And as usual, if you're in the US, you can bid if you want to own this guy. The link is in the video description. Starting bid is $70. I've also changed the way that I am shipping these. I forgot the name. Who bought the, which one just went out? The pig. Oh God, that pig. By the way, whoever won that pig, you got such a deal because that's one of the better live stream ones. That pig came out so good. But that one I just shipped a couple of days, yesterday, day before? I don't know. I'm so mixed up on my days right now. I'll tell you all about that later. But I changed the box that I usually ship them in. The way that I'm shipping them, I'm trying to make it look a little bit nicer. The problem is the box, it's all colored and pretty. Super flimsy, so I still put it in I still think even though it's flimsy and the box may get crushed, that they will protect the artwork better than just the cardboard I was using before. But I still wrapped it in my plastic teal bag just to make sure if it did get crushed, nothing fell out. I'm excited. I totally forgot about that box opening to do later with the Vistaprint order. So for those of you on Patreon, your postcards, your greeting cards, the stuff that's coming up, that's what's in that box. And I haven't even seen anything except 2 of the items. And for those of you who are waiting for your postcards, the March cards that should have gone out in April and the April cards that should go out in May, I'm just now getting caught up on those. So I apologize, but those will be out to you soon. Trust me, it will be worth the wait. I'm super happy with with the batch that's going out. Like, oh, they're so pretty. So again, you may be thinking, why didn't you just start with darker paper? Because this gives me the ability to erase and get some really cool effects. I considered the darker paper just to save time and not do, like just adding rays of light on black paper, which would still be a cool look, but this is going to give me more freedom for the way that my rays of light will look. I just keep dipping that in there and then tapping some off because it lifts way too much. Oh, we have from Kathy said, the pups need another treat. Thank you boys want a super chat from Kathy? Thank you so much, Kathy. Oh, Gibson, you're just going to stay over there. Do you want a super chat? Come on. He's like, I didn't believe you. I thought you were lying to me. Good boys. Is that very tasty? Say thank you, Kathy. You guys are awesome. Okay, go lay down. Say thank you. Lay down. Go lay down. Down. See if Gibson actually listens. Oh, he's actually, nope, he stopped. Gibson, lay down. What is with you today? Like everything. I took him outside. He's supposed to go do his dog business. And he's like, no, I'm just going to lay in the grass. I'm like, get up and go. No, I'm just going to lay in the grass. I'm like, tell him again, get up and go. So he goes and starts eating grass. I'm like, are you serious right now? It has been all day with him. He's not sick or anything. Like, you know how some dogs will eat grass when they're not feeling well? Nope, he likes to eat the long grass at the border of the yard. We're having one of those Gibson days. Okay, oh, we have another from Oriole Beagle. You want another super chat? Oh, you believed me that time. I think Gibson thought I was lying last time. He's like, I know you said the word, but I wasn't sure if you were serious. Oh, don't you boot me with your nose. He sits there. I don't know if you saw him. He gently touches me with his nose like, I'm right here and I would like that. Such a bad hound, huh? So bad. So bad, so bad. Okay, go lay down. Thank you so much. Lay down. You guys are making up for me being sick last week. Lay down. Wade. Now the cow doesn't want to listen. He's like, I'll just stay here. We have a bed swap. All the way. Good boy, Gibbs. Look at you listening now. Are you going to be a good boy? You just needed extra treats. Was that the deal? So I'm just going to add a couple more layers here. It's so soft. And you can get, if you're working on a bigger project, you can get with the soft tools like these big, like huge pad things for filling in large areas. Now I'm building this up thicker and thicker where I want it a bit darker. I'm going to be better off after I blend some of this out. I'm going to mist it with a fine mist sprayer and Spectrafix to seal some of this down so that I can layer some on. Because what starts to happen is you get a bunch of this layered on there and you just start knocking the product off of the paper. Oh, I see that, Corey. She said, spoiled they are. I'm not going to say it loud because they're going to know. Let me get this on here and I'm going to spray it so that we give it a chance and dry it so it can sit for a second. And then we will reward the boys, the spoiled bad dogs. So terrible. Somebody's going to get mad at me for joking that they're bad dogs. Like they're dogs. They don't actually know what that means. It's my tone of voice, which is obviously not angry. I've had people get mad at me for that. Okay, so I am going to take my fine mist sprayer, and this is filled with Spectrafix, and I'm just lightly going to spray this. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to close my jar of charcoal. I'm gonna go over that. Now, this paper is super absorbent and the paper definitely starts to warp. So not only to speed up the time of the drying, this is gonna help it pull back into shape. So I'm gonna use a hairdryer here. Okay, and now we have the super chat from Corey who said, spoiled they are. Whoops, wrong person. Do you guys want another super chat? They're like, I don't know if you, they were a little lag going on there. Like, was it serious? Is this very tasty? You're having the best night, aren't you? Thank you so much. Back up so they could see your cute faces. There you go. No, that one's brother's. Oh, don't eat his. So anytime Gibson drops his, you have to quickly grab for Wade, or Wade is on that so fast. Okay, go lay down. Go lay down. Thank you so much. Oh, we have another. Oh, hold on. You have to lay down, though. Lay down, lay down, lay down, down. We've got to do this in the right order. Down. We have from DJ said they are so nom nom hungry. So we'll do that now. Gibson knows. He's like, I get this game. We're doing a lot tonight. Do you want another super chat? Come on, you can come get a super chat. Thank you so much, DJ. Stop booping me. You cannot be pushy. You know the rules. He said, I know, and I know I can ignore them. Huh. Thank you so much. You guys seriously are so awesome. Go lay down. Go lay down. Look, you're getting all last week's super chats today, huh? Go lay down, Wade. Wade, cow. Cow's being the bad one now, not listening. Well, I guess that is how he got the name Bad Cow. Okay, so this should be dry. I'm gonna go ahead and do another layer onto this. Now, because I did seal this with a Spectrafix, the rays of light will erase some, but not as much as they would if I hadn't put Spectrafix first. But it'll still give me the variation that I'm looking for. Let's go ahead. I mainly want to darken the bottom. The top is fine. I want to get this bottom here and pull that up. Just make it a little bit darker. And then I've got to remember the matte cuts most of this out. So if I want that darker, I've got to pull the dark in a lot further. And for those of you who are waiting for the digital flamingo lesson, it ended up being so much longer than I thought. I thought I was almost done today at 3 hours long, and realized I was missing like an hour's worth of footage and had to go download that. So yeah, I'm still working on the flamingo. I had to take all last week off. I was so, just didn't have it in me to get anything done. I was so sick. But yeah, so I'm getting caught up now. Again, I apologize for those of you on Patreon. I'm behind on some stuff. I'm working on the reference photos. I've got to get a group challenge up. Got all kinds of stuff to get ready for you guys. I wouldn't be terribly mad if that fin ended up a little bit smaller in this one, just because it looks a little weird how big the back fin is, just at that angle. Okay, so I'm just going to soften this out. Now I am going to make sure that if I have any streaks, they are going the direction of the rays of light. So I'm going to start pulling this slightly in so that any streaks work with that direction, because you will end up with some streaks, like right there. I just had a heavy line, but it goes with that direction. Next, we're going to do some erasing. Oh, we have from D. Lynn Creative Arts, said, super chat for lizard, frogs, chicken, snakes, spiders, and the rest of the indoor farm. And Gibson's looking at me. Look, I have to give him one. He's like, I heard the word super chat. Thank you, D. Lynn Creative Arts. I'm going to be adding one to my farm too soon. I will tell you about that later as well. I'm really excited. I'm going to make some, which will require some adjustments to the studio, so I'm excited about that. I still haven't even made my studio tour since I've redone the windows, so we've got lots of exciting things coming. Okay, you want your super chat? Gibson's like, you were the reason that I was going to do this, even though this wasn't technically for you. This was for Dragon and Frogs and everybody else. Come on. Thank you so much. Okay, go lay down. Go lay down. 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 You're getting a workout, huh? Gibson, down. Okay. So we've got a few different erasers. We have erasers like this, and I like this for sharper lines. The problem is if I use that right now, these are going to be super, super harsh. And that's not really what I'm looking for the majority of these, while I will want some more detailed lines. So what I like to use instead is a kneaded eraser. This is going to get, no, not a kitten. I am definitely, cats don't fit with my plants, all my animals, no, the fish. If they stayed kittens, I would consider it. But anyway, not a kitten. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and figure out where I want these rays of light to start. Actually, I'm going to make a little mark just because it is so easy to have this not go as straight as you want. Actually, let's just do that. I can build up about where I want these to go. Oh, that's working really well. And I'm pulling my rays of light all the way off because I want these to go off the, where the mat is going to go. Let's see, go this way. And now I can go over what's already there. And this gives me the wider ones. Now I'm going to come back through with thin lines later. I just want a little bit of that softness. Okay, and the thin ones I'll do once we get more of the shark in. Actually, one of the things I don't like, see that rate of light, how it goes with the tail? I'm not liking that. One, it's not straight enough, so let's fix that. And I want to pull that down anyway. That'll be better. Okay. And I can always come back if I want to darken anything in between. We've got a lot of options there. So now onto the shark. I'm going to do everything with the shark with the pencils, because that's a really small area. This is a 5x7, so not terribly large. Oh, I should probably, hold on. Is this important? Why do I have a chase fraud thing? We declined. Hold on, I need to see if something is important right now. Hold on, we declined. Carniceria Mercar? Hold on, let me send a screenshot of this in case Matt tried to buy something, which I don't think he did because there isn't that much money in that account right now. Let's send that to Matt. Gotta love fraud alerts. But then you have to wonder, is the fraud alert a fraud? These days, yeah, you gotta double check everything. Don't click links, that's for sure. Okay. Can I do that easier with Pan Pastels? Or do that eraser with Pan Pastels? Sure. Yeah, it would definitely work. So I'm going to use these Generals charcoal pencils. If I want something to be a super crisp line, I want to go with the hard. If I want a darker line but softer and smudgy, we've got extra soft, and that's pretty much, I really just need those two. I've got all of the different variants of pencil where it ranges from soft, medium, hard, like everything. I think there's 4 different ones. Okay, yeah, Matt said, Matt's just being a smartass. Not the Carniceria. Yeah, that's... See, and I don't know, I should be able to just say no. I don't know what that is. see. Oh God, now I have to get a new card apparently. They said they're closing that one and sending a new card. So yeah, it looks like my card was like full on stolen. Lovely. That one was just replaced not that long ago. It's actually, oh God, now I'm gonna have to switch everything over again. Oh, what a pain in the butt. What's odd with that is not a card I use in person ever. Like I don't use it for anything except some, like, I think it's attached to my Amazon account and bills. So it's not like I scanned something in person and had a card reader or anything weird like that. Okay, this one is not wanting to sharpen. So that is, now if your charcoal pencils, they could just be broken all the way inside. In this case, it's most likely that that sharpener is, yeah, because it's not breaking so much now. If it keeps breaking on this one, then let's see. I'm gonna have to get an X-Acto knife or try a different pencil. Yeah, this pencil, it might just be bad. It's the soft one, and they are a pain to sharpen. Soft versus extra soft. Sure, let's use you. And then the hard. Let's see if I can get that one to sharpen for me. Yep, that one sharpened, no problem. So. But my hands are a mess now. Hold on. I need a spray bottle with water because this is going to end up smudged all over. Oh, hold on. Okay. Spray bottle, water. This will work. Use the one I missed my dart frogs with. I don't want charcoal all over my hands because it's too easy to end up with fingerprints where you don't want them. And in this case, it's also a good idea to put a piece of glassine under the work. Hold on one second, let me get some tape. It's always weird to me when a card gets stolen like that. Like, it seems like that's something that came from, I've had it come from the bank being stolen, like they were the ones who had the leak, because I don't use that. Like, even online, that's not my card I use for almost anything, so it's very odd. Okay, let's start over here. Okay. So I'm gonna start with the eye. We've got just dark in the middle there, and this one is, yeah, that's the hard. So I'm using hard where I want my lines really sharp, and then where hard is going to not be as dark as the soft. The softer it is, the darker it is. The harder the pencil, the lighter the color, but the sharper the line you can get. Like, it'll be really clean. If I use my soft pencil, it's gonna be smudgier. The edge is not gonna be quite as crisp. So you've got some give and take there. You've got to figure out what you're going for. And I'm going to start with the hard because this is so tiny. Let's pull this up so it's a little bit larger. And then I can use I don't even have to load this. This is still dirty from the last time I used charcoal, so I can just smudge a little bit in there. We've got a little bit of dark right. Let's see. That actually is going to get light. And I've got dark right here. And let me sharpen my white. Pencil is also really dull. Okay. We've got a highlight here. And you want to look at this as abstract shapes. Where are your lights and your darks? If I look at this as I'm drawing a shark, it is not going to come out looking like a shark. And it's very odd where sometimes the shadows and highlights don't make a lot of sense when you're sitting up close to them. When you back up at a distance, it all comes together. So just trust your reference photo. Copy what you see there. I need a shading tool. So with the shading tools, I keep one side that I use for mostly white and one for the dark. And I can wipe that on a paper towel. Now, if I need to, which I'm doing now, off camera, you can't see. Now, one of the things that people do a lot is they see these that come with your shading tools in like a pack. This is not for sharpening these. One, you don't need these to be sharp. Whatever they come with, that's what you want. You also don't need them to be clean. If you use this on this, you will ruin this. It frays it really bad. You don't want these frayed. This is for sharpening your pencils, not your shading tools. Okay, so I'll use the light side. I'm going to start smudging that white in. Let's see, let's mark out where the mouth is so I don't lose that. We've got a little bit of a shadow in here, some definite marks in here. And I'm only going to focus on the face for right now. And I just want to focus on those values. Where are my lights and my darks? And I also want to make sure I'm keeping everything clean. I don't want smudgy lines where they shouldn't be. And if you look at the photo, look at where you've got like light and dark in there. Make sure you get some of that. It's not just one value. Oh my gosh, chicken is having a fit in the other room, which means Matt probably left the room. So I'm going to move up here onto that fin. Oh, I haven't been in the studio, gosh, in a couple of weeks now. This feels amazing. Do you guys ever do that where you just haven't had a chance to draw in a while and it feels so good to sit in the easel and draw? Like extra good because you haven't done it in a while. Kind of like if you haven't had Chipotle in a while and you have it, it tastes extra good. Yeah, that's pretty much what this feels like right now. Like Chipotle. I don't want to go too dark on the darks in here. Most of that's going to be smudged with white. Actually, let's just get it light and then I'll worry about the details after. Let's get the lights in first. So I'm pushing a little bit harder where I want it to stand out more, but I'll still do some smudge work. So this can all be soft. I'm not worried about keeping that crisp. I'll come back through and define it better. So I'm still using the hard pencil here, mostly because I'm too lazy to switch to soft, but it doesn't really matter for this. That is going to need to be darker, so I'm going to switch over to my soft lead. I can't push as hard though because that is going to be much more likely to break. And then it's going to be a little bit lighter, so I'll switch back to hard. Pull that shadow in. See these little details, it's not just making a solid color, it's getting all of these details, all the different values, the gradient, the variations between the black and the white. And I can just work back and forth as needed. I kind of want it to be a little bit scratchy, so we'll make a few little lines in there. I may come back and do some more on that, but I'm going to go ahead and work down onto the body a bit more. Now this fin, part of that is in shadow, and I'm not sure what happened on the photo that caused that, like the tip is in shadow. I'm not going to do that on my artwork. It looks a little bit weird to me. If you've downloaded that reference photo, you know what I'm talking about. Again, that reference photo along with the line art can be found at patreon.com/Lachri. The direct link for this post is in the description. End of this fin has really nice light where that's catching there. I want to make sure I get that contrast with the light and the dark I like right in here. But up here, that really harsh dark tip on the fin looked weird to me. I'm just blocking in some of the lighter areas. And this won't be quite as bright in most of this once I blend out with the shading tool. So you can see here I'm not pushing very hard. I want to draw in these gills. I'm holding the pencil to the side there for this. It's a lot darker. Just mapping that out. I'm going to switch to where I want it to be able to smudge a bit more. Switch over to that soft pencil. See how I'm really looking at that photo. Where is, you can see it there, where are my general lights and darks? Where are my lightest and my darkest areas? And that's kind of what I'm focusing on first. And then I'll refine my shapes a bit more after. Just really lightly going over this here. I want it lighter, but I'm not trying to get it white, so I'm not pushing super hard. Here I am. If I want something defined to stay pretty bright, then I can push a bit harder. And the General's white charcoal pencil, you can give it a bit more pressure than some of the other pencils. It handles it pretty well. In between the gills. Okay, even now already he looks really good. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend that, smudge that out. Now you have to be careful where you're blending. I don't want to overly do this. I don't want to lose my definite light and dark areas. I want to see the paper color on parts. I want to see variations of really bright white to just kind of gray. And then the black that goes from a medium gray all the way to a really dark black. You want all that variation. You see how I put the white where it was brighter, and then I just smudge that over the gray paper. Okay, now we refine everything. Pretty much got everything blocked in. Oops, I missed this spot. Needs to be blended. I'm going to switch sides of my blending tool because that's really black. There we go. Okay. Oh, I already like him. He's cute. Okay, so now, again, values. So my things I'm going to focus on now, I want to make certain areas a lot sharper, more defined, and I want to focus on make my brights a bit brighter, my darks a bit darker. So this area needs to be really bright. So I'm pushing a lot harder, and I'm not going to blend that out. Most of that's going to stay just as it is. The dart frogs agree. I don't know if you can hear them barking or starting to chirp. Here, just brightening that up. I'm going to pull that into the gills, pushing a bit harder again. I want part of it bright, but I do want it to fade out. So I'm going to switch over here just on the edge and soften that. We've got these little lines in here, so I'll do some shading that way. And that just fades out. And all of this detail, just continuously layering like this is what is going to take your work from looking like a line, just an outline, to like a black and white photograph. I need that lighter, just not that much lighter. Let's just soften that out. There's a little fin elbow or shadow or something going on there. Let's see, we have an area under the gill. It comes up and meets with this line. Now, right now, I have this line that's connected to the mouth. That is not supposed to be like that. That just kind of shades up this way. I want to break that up a bit. It's, let's see, we've got his eye, and then that comes out. And then around the mouth, that is broken up there. It was just too much of a definite line. Much better. Okay, we've got that bright area, a little brightness there. Let's see, there's the mouth and under the mouth. And I'm just going to clean that up with a light line. And just some little scratches and shadows in here. The big thing to notice too, don't just pull like where I've got the white line. It doesn't outline everything. See how I've got like the white, the light catches here, but then we fall into shadow here. Make sure you're getting that. That's really going to help your work to look more realistic. I need to do more work, more lessons in charcoal. I forget how enjoyable this medium is to work in. It gives you more of that instant gratification. So if you've been working on a project that takes forever, colored pencil artists, you know what I'm talking about, where it just, everything takes so long. Get some charcoal pieces done in between. It's just a nice little reset. If I do something that takes a really long time, like I could spend 6 weeks, it could be on acrylic, color pencil, whatever. I spend that long on a project. I want to do something that I can get done really quick, get a little bit of instant gratification. It's very refreshing instead of that nonstop one big long project. Way brighter right in here where the light is hitting. And then again here, so see how I'm pushing a lot harder where I want that areas to be way, way brighter. Not pushing very hard where I just want a little bit lighter. And then up here. Okay, now I'm just kind of backing up and squinting to decide where I want things to be a bit brighter or darker. So one of the things that's happening right now where my white, my transfer paper was, this isn't sticking, so I've got to switch to a softer lead. The hard lead is just not sticking to it. Yeah, the soft lead stuck just fine. There we go. And see how just constantly throughout this, how many times did you think, oh, that looks done? But if you keep layering just a little bit more and a little bit more, it'll just keep getting better, usually. I should say, as long as you are not just making lines for the sake of lines, you're looking at something on that reference photo that you're like, it would look better if I made this darker. It would look better, mine needs to be darker, mine needs to be lighter. You have to do it intentionally. I do see sometimes where people are like, well, I kept working on it and it got worse. You are throwing random lines everywhere. You're just being messy and sloppy and lazy. That's not going to get you the results you want when you're trying to make something look more realistic. That may work when you're doing more impressionistic stuff, not for getting into more realistic stuff. You've got to slow down and really pay attention to what you're doing, but you're not going to overwork it. That's a common thing you hear. You can certainly overwork a watercolor. You're not going to overwork this as long as it's done intentionally. Like I'm looking at a specific area on my photo going, okay, that needs to be a little bit lighter. I need a line to kind of come from about here and be lighter right through here. So it's an intentional detail. I'm not just putting anything all willy-nilly, I guess. How old do I sound? Just because I want to keep adding and layering details because I watched a video and they said if you keep layering it'll look better. That's not what I mean by that. I mean intentional details. Be aware of what it is that and why you keep layering something. So I'm using the softer pencil here so this will smudge better. Okay, I think I'm ready for some rays of light. So I am going to, now some of these I do want to be sharper. Let's do, I have a white charcoal block. I think this will probably be easier though. I'm going to keep going with this because this worked out really well. And some of these are going to go right in front of the shark. Whoops, that line was not what I wanted. Let's get rid of you. Smudge you right on out because you were getting a little crazy there. But now that I have that, I'm going to lightly go around it. And I'll still smudge it, but I did the straight line just because I can't draw straight lines on my own. And I want to make sure that goes off the paper. Let's see, I'm going to pull that right in front. Now I want to make sure where I put the light, see how this one goes right in front of the eye? I'm going to blend that out and make that ray of light go behind the shark. I don't want that going over the eye. So I'll do a little adjusting there. Okay, let's Let's now go ahead and soften these out, make them look fancy. You will get smudged all the way. Don't want that ray of light in front of his face because that's weird. Right now these look super harsh. We'll blend those in a moment. And I can even come back through with my charcoal powder and darken some of these up as I need to. This anymore. I know it looks scary right now. We're not going to leave it that way. So first I'm going to blend with this and see how, with my shading tool, yeah, that gets it pretty soft. If it didn't, I could go over it with my soft tool. We'll blend it even more. Have to be careful not to over smudge over the shark. I want to keep his detail, like it'll be softer where it goes in front of it, but I don't want to completely smudge out all of that detail. So I just need to be kind of careful there. I love how dramatic that looks. I think I want to pull some darker areas though, soften it a bit. So I'm just taking my soft tool with the charcoal powder, going in between a few of these. Let's reload that a little bit. This is just going to be a bit softer than the pencil would be. I can use the pencil, it'll be darker. So if this wasn't getting as dark as I wanted, the pencil would be a better choice. Chicken is losing his crap again. He is screaming his chicken face off. He does not like when Matt leaves the room. Soften some of these out too. I think I'm going to go a little bit softer on some of the, actually let me sharpen this pencil. Oh, we have from Patty said, my pup got a treat, so your pups need a treat too. Oh, Wade knows. You want a super chat? Okay, Gibson, I guess you're out. You don't want to get up? I'm not bringing it to you. If you want one, don't lick your lips. Come get one, Gibson. Gibson, come. He thought he could get me to take it to him. Lazy boy. There you go. Someone knows how to manipulate me. Didn't work this time, though. Go lay down. Thank you so much, Patty. You boys are lucky, huh? It's a good night. Go lay down. Down, down, down. Iced tea. Down. Today. Maybe. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to soften this. I want to make them a little bit whiter. They're just too skinny. We're going to feed them some in and out. That was rude. Okay, I think he's about done. Let's see what he looks like. Oh, I like him. I'm excited about him. Let's see what he looks like with, I just gave myself goosebumps. Does that mean I'm narcissistic? I don't know. Okay, that I am super happy with. Actually, I want to straighten this out though a little bit. I don't like how bent that is. I'm just going to pull the white there and then pull this up. Oops. And erase that charcoal from the mat. There you go. Okay, let's just fix that because that would bug me. They don't have to be perfect, but a little bit more perfect than that would be good. There we go. Soften that. Much better. Oh, I love it. I'm so excited. Okay, so the next, actually, no, I'll sign it after. So let's figure out where that's going to go. I'm going to hold that in place. I'm going to sign it in this back corner. Okay, and see, the reason that I held the mat there is naturally I would feel like I should sign here, but that wouldn't look good because the mat is obviously going to cover that. So we're going to do that. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'll show you how to mat it in just a moment here. But first I want to spray it with Spectrafix. Now the thing I like about Spectrafix, it doesn't have a tendency to make things a lot darker like some of the sprays do. I'm not going to put bubbles or anything on this because this is more in the distance, so you really wouldn't see that. You know, it's weird. Is that just, oh, it's my monitor. I'm like, it looks like there's a dark, it's paint on my monitor. Okay, now this may be too big for my mat. I might need to trim this down a little bit. Let's find out. As much as I want it to be big, I don't want it so big that I can't tape it to the mat. See how I'm pulling the tape away from the art? Never pull it into the art like that, because if it rips, you will rip into your art. This way, if it rips, it just rips out. It doesn't affect anything. It shouldn't rip though, because especially after having just used the hair dryer on it. Oh, it looks so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so when I put this on the mat, nope, we're good. I don't have to cut it down. Okay, let me readjust my cameras for a second here so that you can see what I'm doing. I don't even have this camera on. Oh, why am I getting text messages? Oh, more messages from Chase. Hold on. Why you gotta do this now, like during the night? Okay, they'll change my card out for me. Okay, that was legitimate. I'm glad I responded. Usually, if it's not a real one, the fake ones will usually contact you and say, like, click this link. This one didn't have anything trying to get me to click anything. It was just like, was this you? Which I've seen before on fraud things, like when we bought our cell phones and it decided that that sounded fraudulent. What am I looking for? Let me clean some of this out of the way. Give me just a second. I got a bit of a mess going right now. And then we'll do the box opening of the stuff from Vistaprint, see how those came out. It is I haven't actually had to have Vistaprint replace anything like print quality wise in a really long time. There was, God, I don't even remember when the last time was. It's been forever. There have been times, God, the last time I remember was 2019. A bunch of stuff they sent me printed way too dark. Like, and it was weird because some of the batch was not too dark and some of it was, which is like, obviously that's a problem with your printer when I'm getting two different results from the same print. Clean the charcoal off my hands first. Okay, let's get this camera set up. Let's see. Nope. Huh. That camera was already on. That was a surprise. Okay, I might have to adjust a few things over here. Let's move the dog treats. What is this lid? Okay, and grab my tape. So you want to make sure whatever you use when you're matting things, that everything, the mat, the tape, everything needs to be acid free. So the first thing that I'm going to do is hold that over, make sure it's positioned right where I want it, and then I will slide that down and flip it upside down. That is really crooked. Let's straighten that out and see if it's still right when I flip it over. Yeah, okay. Now this is a pH neutral, you're going to see in there, acid-free tape. We're just going to first tape this to the mat. And I want to make sure that lays flat. I'm going a bit tape happy. I generally do, just because I don't like when it gets gappy. If you've ever seen where somebody mats stuff and it's kind of gappy around there, I do not like that look. So that. Next, we're going to put the backing on it. And this makes it, it doesn't just protect the art, it makes it look really nice. Like right now, if somebody gets this and they flip it over, it's like, wow, that looks really trashy. We're going to make it look nice and clean. So now I'm using a double-sided tape. Now, while this tape is not touching the artwork, it still is touching the mat that is touching the artwork. So you want this to be acid-free as well. So you get like the stuff that's for scrapbooking, that is for photos and such. And I go pretty tape happy with this too. Watching someone play with tape. I know this is super exciting. Okay, now we've got to pull these off. Come on. And this way, if you mat this, it doesn't really cost me, if I buy these mats in bulk, they cost me, God, it's a few dollars a piece. I'm trying to think of what the actual price is. It depends on how many I buy, but you can get them to where it's like this whole little set, the mat, the bag, and the board for, I think it comes out to probably, I don't know, a few dollars. I don't remember the actual price, but it's not terribly expensive. So it's worth it to send like this, so when the buyer gets it, it looks nice and complete. Even though, yeah, once it's in a frame, they're not going to see this back. But look how much better that looks. So now, here's the actual, like what they're getting is, we'll show you in the big easel. Look at how, whoops, it's upside down. It looks nice and complete. Hold on, I can zoom this out. Well, good enough. But look how nice and complete that is compared to just sending, well, one, just sending the artwork, the loose drawing. That looks really bad. It's kind of tacky looking. If you can go ahead and mat it, it just looks so much more complete. And then this one that I get these from Golden State Art, it comes in the bag, or it comes with the bags. There you go. So when the buyer gets this, it's nice. It just feels finished, much more so than if it was not in this guy. So that is ready to ship. Okay, next I want to do the box opening, but I have to go get the box. So wait here. I will be right back. I may lose you part of the way through. I left a box out here. Okay, I'm out of shape. That was too much of a workout for me. And I can't lift this box. just have to push it all the way in here. And I'm back. Okay, let's see. Let's move the shark out of the way. Again, you can bid on him if you want to own him. Link is in the video description. Whew, that was a workout. Okay. I have way too much trash up here. So a few things, not just that, I actually want to show you something cool. This isn't like an affiliate thing or anything. I just thought it was cool. And one of the story times I have that'll go back with another story, I found a company that's going to print. I want to do, oh, I'm really out of breath. That was all the way at the other end of the house and that box is heavy. But I want to make prints of one of Glitch and one of the red eye or the blue ringed octopus eyeglass cleaners or cloths. Here's a mantis shrimp. How cute are these? I got one, and you can order these ones from this company now. A paint palette. Look how cute my paint palette. This cleans your glasses or your tablet. There's the back of the palette. These are so, it's called Nerdwax, nerdwax.com. They have a bunch of funny, they've got one, tidy-whitey, dirty-looking underwear you can clean your glasses with. It's hilarious. I did not order those, but it's kind of hilarious. I got a pretty plant leaf, flower, and a strawberry. And a bunch of these have like, there's the front of the strawberry, there's the slice inside of the strawberry. There's tortillas, there's so many cute things, but I'm going to be having prints made of my work on some of these that I will include when somebody buys one of the more expensive, not the live stream paintings, because those cost, obviously I give you guys that at a huge discount, so I can't afford to give that level of a gift. But I'm going to, again, if you want to check those out, nerdwax.com. It's not an affiliate or anything. They're just awesome, super fast shipping. I believe they make them here in the US, so it's probably why the shipping's so fast. Awesome. I contacted them. Customer service is amazing. When I asked them about having my artwork done on it, they would give it to, like, I'd be paying retail. I'm not getting a discount for having it. So it's like, I just want to have a fun free gift for you guys when you do buy one of my more expensive paintings. So I'm so out of breath. Okay. That's what happens when you don't move for a week. But really, really cool, and something that I definitely want to be including. But I'm also going to be making, I want to call it a frog box and a reef box, where you'll be getting in like a little, kind of the size of the Smart Art boxes, if you've seen those. You'll get 2 5x7 art prints, so an 8x10 matted art prints. Like, these are going to be Giclées. These are your higher quality prints. 2 will be in the frog box. Obviously, you'll have the frogs like Glitch. It'll come with Glitch on a eyeglass cleaner or tablet cleaner. It'll have a keychain of a frog. Like, I've got a bunch of stuff, stickers. It'll just be a fun box of stuff. And then another one for ocean stuff. So that is why with this company, when I contacted them to see if they could do that, that's like one of the main, like, the gifts that will come in that box. So I'm excited to do those. I'm hoping, you know, obviously before the holidays for sure. I don't know if it'll happen before, but that is like on my to-do list to get done. So I just have to figure out, because it's actually really expensive for me to make those boxes. So I'm not like making much in the way of a profit. I would just be doing it as something fun for you guys for the most part. So yeah, those are really cool. Yes, Golden State Art is who I use for my mats. Okay, so Vistaprint. So those of you who are on Patreon, and if you're not on Patreon, I don't know why you're not. For as little as $6 a month, you get access to all of my longer videos. There are over 400 long, like some of these are coming, the one I'm working on right now is almost 4 hours. I might be able to cut it down a bit. It's ridiculously long, but you get longer lessons in all mediums. So those are going to take you from anywhere, if you're a beginner, all the way through advanced, working with you on projects, just walking you through step by step how I do them to help you to improve your own work and make your work more realistic. So that is as little as $6 a month. Depending on which tier you choose for Patreon, you get postcards. $6 a month doesn't get postcards. You get reference photos. You get a few different rewards. But for the $11 a month and up, it goes from getting postcards all the way up to the $22 a month. You get a greeting card and a sticker as well, and that is what we're going to look at now. So let's see what came. Actually, some of these might not be in here. Oh no, they are all are. Okay, so let me pull these out. Ooh, that looks good. At least the little thumbnail thing does. Oh, I don't think I have scissors in here. I'm gonna have to find an X-Acto knife. Did I pull that one out? Where would my X-Acto knife be? Or these palette knives might work. Yeah, that looks sharp enough. So the first one is actually from one of the live streams we did, the goldfish. And this is one of the, so the higher tier patrons get this card. I'm not sure which month all of these are for. Oh, this looks good. So we've got the goldfish that was done in pan pastels and colored pencil. How cute is he? Oh, that looks good. And as usual, like, this is upside down. I'm really bad about making those on the wrong side. But if you flipped it, if you did it like this, then it's right. So I guess it just depends on your perspective. So these are the mini prints that come with the higher tier patron. You get one of these a month that are usually late, but you do eventually get them. Oh, that I'm really happy with it. So this one, the original was a 5x7, which is a little bit smaller, I believe, than this on One Direction. So I had to pull it into Photoshop and do some digital painting just to make things a little bit crisper, because when you have prints made of your art, you can always go smaller, but you don't want to make it larger than the original. When you make it larger, it looks worse. It starts looking fuzzy because the detail's not there in the original. Like, it just is going to get fuzzy. So I had to use my, do a little bit of digital painting to make this work for a print, where I made it a little bit more crisp, the edges a bit sharper when I blew it up. So that is slightly different than the original. Oh, I like that guy though. Oh, he looks good. Okay, next, for those of you who like the ocean, this is a good one. Well, if it printed well, it's a good one. Okay. DJ, never got your mini print? Send me a message. Message me on Patreon so I can look up your account and find out what's going on, and I'll get those. If you're supposed to get those, I'll get those out to you. Oh, this one. Oh, hey, look, this one printed on the right side. So I've got my sea turtles. Oh, I love how that looks. Oh my gosh, it's clean, like clean. How many syllables is in the word clean? Somehow I managed two. It only needed one. But look at the sea turtles. I don't think, if I get close, yeah, it gets blurry. Let me see if I can show you on this one. Does it look, kinda, it looks better in person. That kind of makes it weird looking, blotchy, but the sea turtles. So that's gonna be one of your mini prints. But DJ, make sure you message me through Patreon so I can see your account and make sure, like, if your address isn't in there right, we'll figure out what's going on. Okay, next mini print. Ooh, he looks good. The colored pencil, what is this? The colored pencil with the airbrush background. How good is he? I love how the print quality on these is looking. Okay, it's a little bit washed out on here. It looks better. It's too, there. You can kind of see better there at an angle. The lights are too bright on that. So it isn't as accurate. Here is much more accurate. Well, even here it's washing it out a bit because these lights are so bright in here. But oh, that came out good. And then we've got, ooh, I'm excited for this one. So this one I've actually seen. At least I saw the other batch, so as long as it printed is good, because I brought this with me to Aquashella. And this one I had to do some digital painting on because the original is round. So to make it fit this way, I had to do a lot of painting, but it worked really. Oh my gosh, look how cute. The goldfish that's on a leash attached to a fork, taped to a cactus. Because that's what my mind thinks of when I paint. And it was funny because I did take this one, the other batch of them, and I'm glad this one printed just as well. I took this with me to Aquashella, and so many people had questions about why he was wearing a leash, why he's stuck on a fork. My answer to that is he's wearing a leash because I'm a responsible pet owner, and I don't want him to get away. So there are the 4 mini prints. So that's going to be your highest tier on Patreon. So those are going to be, let's see, I'm working on April's, so May, June, July, and August. Those are those cards that go out in June, July, August, and September, because it always goes out if I'm on time, it goes out 1 month after the date that it's for, just because the way the billing goes with Patreon. And right now I'm a little behind. I'm getting caught up on that though. Okay, so there are those. Next, we have the postcards, if I can find them. So the postcards are going to be a lot of the same stuff, but in postcard form. So we got 1, 2. I got you. stickers. 3 and, nope, I got you. They're all mixed up. And 4. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. Okay, so these are the postcards. So with postcards, the $11 get just the postcard. $11 and the $16 tiers. You get a postcard sent to you. So the cool thing about the higher tier, because yours comes in an envelope with your mini prints, your postcards don't end up, sometimes they get, like the post office writes on the postcards because they're postcards and that's the nature of it. The ones in the higher tier, because they're in an envelope, don't get marked from the post office. So if you were wanting postcards that stay like in perfect condition, if you're collecting them that way, what did they do to this? Okay, let's see. So, oh, that looks good, the shiny postcard. So we've got the links again. So yay, that looks really nice. We've got, why didn't I have mini prints made of this one? I'll have to do that in the future. I had so many mini prints I wanted to do this batch. And Vistaprint, I'm not an affiliate or anything. They're just, I've gotten really good results with the stuff I've had printed with them. But I only buy when they're on sale. I never pay full price. Ooh, he looks, gosh, you can even see the grain in the canvas in this. We've got the peacock. That was the one that was painted on the gold canvas. Oh, that looks so good. I really like how those printed. Yay, I'm happy. And then this one was from one of the live streams. This one, I'm a little bit afraid because it was another one that was small. So let's see how it printed. Come on, let go. The cards are bent. Oh, just the first couple will be okay. So yeah, sometimes with Vistaprint, if they come, like this one's bent, there's a few others that are bent. If I contact them, they would replace them. It looks like it's just a few, so that I'm not gonna worry about, but that printed, so it printed, I had it done a little bit more bold than the original because I was afraid that the lighter one wouldn't look as good on the postcard. The postcards always print dark, but the gold looks like gold on here. It looks so pretty. The little chickadee. Yee. And then the last one is the goldfish and fork. And this is cut down a little bit different. Let's see how the perspective worked on this since it was different size than the mini print. And they won't all come the same month. Like the month that the goldfish and fork postcard go out is not the same month as the goldfish and fork mini print. They all like get mixed up differently. Oh, that came out really pretty. Oh, I'm gonna have to stick that one of these on my wall. So there is the goldfish. See how shiny it is? They just look so pretty. The mini prints are matte. The postcards are gloss. Because if I sit in something matte, that looks terrible. The post office really messes anything matte up. So the matte stuff goes in an envelope where it's safe. I'm gonna put these away, and then we will look at the stickers. A lot of packing material in here. If you ever get something from me and it's got a bunch of bubble wrap or anything plasticky like packing material, I don't buy that stuff, but it comes whenever it comes in something, I always reuse that when I can. So that is, when you buy paintings, that's why you get sometimes bubble wrap from me. I actually prefer the more papery stuff. But if they send it, I'm not gonna let it go to waste. I will reuse it. Okay, next will be the stickers, which are always a little bit harder to show. Oh, this is not going in there right. Hold on, I'll go that way. Okay, let's see. I don't even remember what stickers I ordered. Next we have, so this comes with the top tier. Oh, we have a blank one. There we go. Oh, the digital, okay, you're not gonna be able to see these. These are gonna look terrible on camera. Can you see? Yeah, this is the Digital Hawk Artist at Work sticker. So these are glossy and it's way sharper. This camera always makes things look a little bit out of focus. Really nice, crisp. This looks good. We have what did these ones say? Paint something weird with the cuttlefish. Again, this is super crisp. Like, it looks so clean in person, but I don't know how close I can get. And yeah, it's not going to stay in focus. I can't really show this well, unfortunately. Maybe here? Nope. Let's try this one. Will that be kind of in focus? You're not going to focus, are you? It's super, like, well, when you get them, you'll see. They look real, like the quality on those, the lines are really clean. But it's got cuttlefish and the damselfish. Next, we have a goldfish. It says art getting those lights light enough and darks dark enough. And it's not going to be in focus, is it? Dang it. These are really hard to show. Yeah, even here, it's like looks super out of focus, but it's not. So the goldfish one. I'm really happy with the print. I'm just disappointed I can't really show you guys accurately what these look like. Well, I mean, you'll see them when you get them. And then the last one is a glitch sticker that says my daily sketches. I wanted this for myself because I want to put it on a sketchbook. I thought that would be cute. So I decided you guys needed it too. So there's the box opening. That's everything from Vistaprint. Looks like everything printed beautifully. Not surprised, they generally do. What else did I want to, okay, so Aqua Shell I wanted to tell you guys about, and we'll go over your art questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave those. Those are coming soon. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of time. So I did the Aqua Shell show in, oh, we got a bid for the shark. He's getting a home. Aquashella is it's supposed to be an aquarium festival. What it was originally, they had like this huge, they called it the Aqua Crib, that had all these like glow in the dark fish hanging. It was like an art experience. You walked through this tunnel and it was just like a maze. It was not a maze. I'm trying to think. It was like, I don't know, you're walking through a tunnel of glow in the dark fish hanging and really cool things. Kids love it. And that was like your entrance into the show. They did not have that this year. That definitely sucked. And they're trying, everyone's trying to save money right now. Trust me, I get that. But it used to be focused more on YouTubers and stuff like that. That isn't a thing anymore at all. They used to have me on stage drawing. They didn't even ask me to do that. This year, so I pay for my booth by doing the artwork for the show. They didn't have me do it at this one. They used AI art, which is weird because it's like, I pay, and I talked to my friends who run it, and they were just like, why did no one reach out to you for that? Like, it wasn't even intentional. It was just, somebody was like, I'm going to do this really quick. Don't want to bother with the artist. I'll just do it on AI for myself. And it's like, you guys knew you already paid me for that, right? Like, you paid for the work to be done and didn't even have me do it. So it was bizarre. Like, it definitely had a different feel from it this year. There were a lot of vendors who weren't there. There were a lot of advertiser type vendors. So I like the little vendors that are selling cutesy little things, like decor, art. Of course, I go and shop at the Coral. I only got one coral this time. I got one really cool jawbreaker mushroom, a Deadpool jawbreaker mushroom. But if you want to Google what that looks like, they're very pretty. And I got a betta fish. So there's definitely cool stuff there, but it was also like, I needed to get some more bloodworms for the betta fish, and the vendor who has a Hikari, who has the stuff I wanted, was there. So I was like, oh great, can I buy some of that? Oh no, this is just for display. They were not even selling what they had there. They were there as an advertisement. And it's just weird to me that advertisers, like these companies go to these shows and like every other booth over there is like, and I was right next to one, it was just an advertisement. A reef-related, fish-related advertisement, but it's weird that I can't buy your product at the show. Now, that was frozen food, so maybe that makes sense. I don't know. Like the first Aquashella, my favorite frozen food was there. Like so much stuff, it just wasn't there, vendors. And I don't know, it's expensive to do these shows. So I'm guessing a lot of people are like, I can't afford to do them. And that's kind of where I'm at. I don't see myself doing next year or anymore because it drained me too much, which I later figured out why. But I was so drained. I was sick. I say sick, sick's not the right word. I wasn't like contagious or anything. I did not have the energy to move. at all. I didn't have the energy to message my friends back. I still have one I need to message back. I was so drained. I couldn't call my mom Monday. I talked to my mom every day. I couldn't call her because I knew I was going to be bitchy. I knew I was going to be like short-tempered, which is not how I normally am at all. But I was so drained. Just talking took too much out of me. Now I have fibromyalgia. I've got health stuff. And in this case, it finally clicked. I haven't been taking my supplements for my heart. Yeah, it turns out you get really tired when you do too much work and then don't take the stuff to make your heart work right. So I had the headaches, which is always a sure sign of my heart not being thrilled with my life choices. So I've been taking that. I feel so much better. But no one cares. Moving on. Point is, I wasn't contagious or anything. But the more I was so sick last week, I kept thinking, I'm like, really, are these shows the right fit for me? I liked the idea of doing them more before because it was heavily involved with YouTube. I'm a YouTuber, so that seemed like a very cool thing, but they don't focus on that at all anymore at these shows. Like they used to have a DJ and music going, and it was a festival type thing. Now it's just your normal, at least this one just felt like a normal trade show type thing, which isn't a bad thing. Like it was still fun. I would have wanted to go to it. I just don't know that I want to vend it. I don't make enough money to drive back and forth. So I don't drive. So Matt has to drive me from like an hour north of Dallas to the show. Then he drives back. Then he has to drive back again, pick me up and back. And so he's back and forth and back and forth. And he was just exhausted he felt like he was driving nonstop, but he couldn't stay with me because he's got to come home and take care of the animals. We have a lot of animals. So there was that. So definitely next year, I think I want to plan to go to Aquashella and hang out, but not be a vendor at them. My booths, I bring in higher quality, like I pay more for my prints, so I have to charge more. And at that show, it's more freshwater people than saltwater people, which is funny because you've got more saltwater vendors, I think, than freshwater vendors, actually by a long shot. But the people who are at these events, a lot of them wanted freshwater. So my friends who make freshwater prints, those sell a lot better than because most of my stuff's reef stuff. So I am excited. I do want to get some freshwater stuff done this year. Not for that show, just because like talking to some friends about it, I got excited. Have some ideas for underwater, overwater stuff, but freshwater this time, like the Amazon, like rivers in the Amazon. I'm very excited about some projects coming up there. But all last week, I was so sick. I felt terrible. I was, instead of working, coming up with ideas like, if I'm not going to do Aquashella, wouldn't it be better if I did this instead? So one of the things that I want to do, probably, I'll do it maybe next year. I don't know. Maybe later this year. I want to do like an all-day live stream. All day. I want to paint all day, maybe one big project. So normally I do things that I can get done in an hour. Let's pick something hard. Let's do something that's going to take all day to finish and just chat, hang out, have lunch together because it's going to be a long day, like have a big just hang out for that. So Lily said, is there a minimum order for the mini prints? So the mini prints, I don't sell them individually. That's when you're on the highest tier. And you are, aren't you? So you get the mini prints already. But if you're missing any, let me know. I do want to eventually make available. So this was another thing. If I'm not going to Aquashella, what am I going to do with my excess mini prints? I'm going to sell them on my website. I'll sell them in like a 10-pack. I don't know what the price will be. I've got to figure out what my cost is. Probably too much. But I've got to figure out like the cost of that. But I want to start making more items available on my website because now I've got all these prints. I've got Giclées. I've got stuff. If I'm not doing Aquashella anymore, it's the only show I do. If I don't do that again, then what am I going to do with all of this merch I bought? I've got some mouse pads left. I've got a bunch of stuff there. So I want to make cute little, like I talked about the reef box and the frog box, where I can fit mouse pads in some of those. I can fit the prints. I can fit, like, there's a lot of fun stuff. And I totally forgot mouse pads was something I wanted to add to those boxes. I don't know what the price should be. I think maybe if you guys let me know, if you got a box full of cute like prints and mouse pad and what is the price thing you would want for like a gift box full of stuff? Because that gives me an idea of how much stuff I can put in them. Because if people are like, I would not pay $75 for a box, including shipping, because shipping's $12, I'm not going to pay that much, then I'd need to put less in the box, so it would be worth you. Anyway, I've got to figure that out, what prices will be. Because, yeah, I've got to order a lot. Oh, how much do I, like, how much does she have to order, 50 or 200? Oh, when I order them, so go to vistaprint.com. And those ones are the single-sided, my mini prints are the single-sided greeting cards is what they list them at. But it's not, I'm not getting the fold anymore. You can get them as the fold, but I do the greeting card thing. And I think you can get as little as 50. I don't remember the price that I'm paying. I want to say, in my case, I think I got like 100 for $63 or something like that. So on sale, And that doesn't count the fancy envelopes that I upgrade. So something like that. I think that's what I paid. And I could be wrong. I'd have to pull up my account. It could have been 73. Heck, it could have been 83. I don't remember. But if you go to Vistaprint, you can see. And then I get them usually they're 30% off when I buy. So yeah, deciding that I didn't really want to do aquashella, it drains me too much. I think I'm just too old for that. Although apparently if I would have just taken my supplements for my heart, I probably wouldn't have been as drained last week as I was. But I want to do more, have more products available if you guys want online. I also redid, I didn't tell you guys about that. No, I did. I posted online about it. Phone cases. So this is actually one. I designed, I know artists are so anti-AI. I am not one of those artists. I'm anti some things AI. There are some aspects of AI that are a nightmare and terrible and need to be taken care of, like copyright violations. But in this case, I wanted to make a phone case for myself and I just wanted to test one. Why I didn't just do one of my own art, I don't know. I wanted something with bees and teal. So this one I actually designed AI, but it's the same maker of the one that I just did for my art. So if you go to lachrimerch.com, you can go to phone cases, like under accessories and phone cases. You can see different ones that I have. I'll be showing you, I imagine they'll ship in the next week or so, and I'll show you what they came out like. But I can tell you the quality I am happy with. This was kind of like my tester, and I just for myself wanted bees, and I didn't want to draw it. I just didn't want to, but I wanted bees and honeycomb and teal. But the quality of this, it's got the inner lining. These are really nice. These are now available with my artwork and not AI art, actual artwork for me. Those are available on my merch site right now, and I have dropped this so many times, and it has held up really, really well. I'm very happy with it. And if you as an artist, if you're looking for a place to have your own work done in prints, so these are available, or not prints, phone cases. These are available for Samsung and iPhones. Sorry for Motorola and all you guys, but that's just who they make it for. But if you can do that, you can set up an account with Teespring. That's who I'm using for my merch, teespring.com, and set up an account. I use them, I like because they integrate really well with YouTube, but their quality is always good. Their customer service is excellent if there's a problem with the product. I've been so happy with them. So that's why I stick with them, just because I know I know what you get is going to be good, and if it isn't, they'll take care of it. So they're very easy to deal with. But these cases, I'll pop this out and show you. Seriously, I've dropped this phone so many times since I got this case too. So I'm very happy with the quality. But it's got the rubbery inside. So you've got that rubbery floppy piece and then the hard plastic shell. So, and that just pops onto the case very easily. It also has a little bit of a ridge that comes up, so your camera is nice and protected if you set it on the back like I do, and the same thing with the front. So really happy with those. And the new ones with my own art, I know I ordered 2 of them that are on their way. I'll let you know how the print job looks on those, but I can tell you that this print was great. So if you guys, again, if you were looking for a place to sell your own merch, t-shirts, sweatshirts, if you make fun stuff, phone cases, I definitely been happy with Teespring. Okay, so that is a lot of rambling. Let's go ahead and start answering your questions. Someone's growling in their sleep. That's funny. Apps, let's pull them up. Okay. Eagle said, thoughts on kneaded erasers? I think they're just okay. I use them sometimes. I also changed my name from Python to Eagle. Oh, that's going to take me forever to figure out. Why did you change? Why are you confusing us? I like kneaded erasers. I use them a lot. When I was younger, I hated them, which is odd, and I don't know why, but the more I use them, I realize because I can shape them, I can get up to a fine, like a little point, depending on the shape I need this to be. If I want a big area, I can flatten it out. I can turn it into a ball. I can get so many shapes with that. Whereas the erasers like this, these erase better, like it pulls more up, but they're good for sharper detail, but they're harsher. I still use my Tombow Mono eraser, which is like your little teeny one, like in a pen. Those are wonderful if you need more crisp areas, but I love kneaded erasers where I want something that's nice and soft, like I did for the Rays of the Light on that shark. I wanted those soft lines, and the kneaded eraser is gonna do for me what an eraser that is more shaped is going to have a very unnatural feel to it. So I think it's good to have several types of erasers, just depending on the look that you're trying to get, because they will each give you a different effect. Dolphin Soul said, can you do that eraser with pan pastels? Absolutely. I think I answered that earlier, but just in case anyone was wondering, yeah, you can do pan pastels and then take your eraser and it will lift off a lot. D-Lane Creative Art said, curious to know if you can use airbrush over charcoal for the rays of light. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you're going to end up with a weird, muddy mess. You could play with it. As far as being archival, it should be okay. But here's the thing with charcoal. It's a powder and it's only so grippy. I don't want color sticking to that. I would want it almost under. Maybe, I'm trying to think of where, there's never been a time where I thought, hey, it'd be convenient if I could use an airbrush right now, like ever when using charcoal. Because it's so easy to get the rays of light like this, and it's easier to control than an airbrush, at least for me. So, could you? Maybe. The air blowing on it is going to blow the charcoal off of it if it's blowing too hard, which if you're good with your airbrush, it shouldn't. But it's wet, and that's going to be weird on the paper mixing in with the charcoal. I don't know what results you would get. You could certainly play around with it and see what would happen, but I can say, I mean, I've got my airbrush right here, and I've never had the desire to think that was gonna, when I do mixed media, it's generally because I think one medium is gonna be easier to do a certain technique with than another. I've never felt that airbrush is gonna do something easier for me with charcoal. So I have not tried. Rick said, may I ask if you always have to use a blending tool when working with charcoal, or can you blend charcoal by layering using just the pencil? It depends on what look you're going for. Absolutely, you can blend it with just the pencil. It's going to give you a different look than with using the blending tool. It just depends on the look that you're going for. Eagle, aka Old Python, said, what colors of underpainting in oil works well besides brown or gray? The underpainting tone does show through the layers of paint, and I'm wanting to experiment with underpainting. Sepia oranges. Orange actually looks like a sepia orange, kind of neutral orange. That can look really cool peeking through different areas, giving you like a neat glow. So that would be the next one I would try. But you can use any color. You could do blue. You could do purple. You can do any color you want as an underpainting. It just depends on what you're going for. Deborah said, do you like charcoal pencils you peel with a string? I have those. I do like them, but I also like the finer point that I get with these. I like to sharpen them, but you don't have to sharpen those, which that is very nice. If I'm working on a bigger project, I lean towards the ones that you pull with a string because it's going to be a little bit more rounded. You would need to sharpen it with something like this. I'm very lazy. So I'm on something as tiny as this project was, because it's a 5x7. So like that little eye was little. The bigger rounded thing, I'm going to have a hard time getting that. It's going to take too much work to sharpen that. I guess I could use an X-Acto knife to help, but if I'm doing a big, like let's say a 16 by 20 inch, then I'm probably going to lean towards using those more. But yes, I do like them. Eagle, aka Python, said, this is a long time curiosity of mine. Is there any use for the white polychromos? I'd love to know if there is. Absolutely. I use them all the time. So one, if I'm using powder blender, especially on sanded paper, wonderful for that. Two, if I want something that's just a little bit more translucent, I want to lighten a color, but I don't necessarily want an opaque white, it works really good on that. Three would be on Canson MeTense. Oh my gosh, on colored paper, it shows up so well. And especially when you don't want super bright white, you just want a little bit lighter. Yes, I actually use my polychromos white a lot now, depending on like one of those things. And you can even use it on normal hot press watercolor paper. Like I've done projects where I just used that because I did something with for Faber-Castell forever ago, and you can still use that pencil. It's just not as white. I usually will erase with the Faber-Castell Perfection Eraser where I want the white to show up more, and then put that white on top of there, and it works fine, or shows up pretty well. Teresa said, do you gesso watercolor canvas boards from Frederick's before you paint acrylics? Absolutely not, because they're already super, super smooth. I do not need those to be more smooth, so no. Audrey said, will black pen pastels work the same? Yes. Well, they'll be darker. Depends on what you're going for. But yeah, you can do them about the same, and they will be, black pen pastels gets much darker than graphite or charcoal powder does. Patty said, what is the difference between MeTense and MeTense Touch? I honestly don't know. That is a good question that I do not know the answer of, because I've not used the MeTense Touch. Lightly said, is there a minimum order for the mini prints? So, okay, so that's what you're asking about with Vistaprint. We got that one. DJ said, I got booted and can't figure out how to leave you a message on Patreon. DJ28, can I just send you a message in an email? I need to see who you are on Patreon. How did you get booted? Do you know what? We're going to need to figure out how to get you into your account, first of all. That is number one. I don't even know if you're on there. So yeah, send me a message, lisa@lachri.com, with the email you used for Patreon. I need to look you up. We definitely need to figure out what's going on there. And whatever name you've used. And if you're not sure what name you used, any name you think you might have used, include that in the email, because we need to find your account. We need to get you signed into it, is the number one thing we need to do. Definitely need to fix that. And let's see. You said feeling stupid. Don't. Trust me, you're not the only one. Like, it's actually fairly common. What usually happens is someone ends up with 2 emails. So they'll sign up with one email, forget about it, and sign up again and have 2 accounts going. Or one was a free account and one was a paid account, but they keep signing into the wrong one, so they can't get into the paid content. So it's not just, don't feel stupid. It is not you. It certainly happens, and we will get you taken care of. We just need to figure all of that out. Oh, my back is very angry. Oh. Dublin Sills said, I think it's from a giveaway you did a while back, not Patreon. Huh? Oh, what? Oh, the prints. Okay, so if it's the mini prints, the giveaway, those are waiting for me to get postage. I've got them. So the story behind that was, I thought I sent them. I guess I didn't, because nobody got there, so I probably just forgot about it. Who knows? It's been a while. I don't have a memory. So I'm resending them, but everyone who won one of those giveaways is getting 2 mini prints because I'm an idiot. So you get 2 as a reward for my being an idiot and not getting those done. But I need to get postage, which I need to order tonight or tomorrow, because I've got to get Patreon out anyway. But when my next Patreon batch goes out, you are getting yours at that point as well. So, oh yeah, if you don't use Patreon, don't even worry. No, I don't need your email. We're good, DJ. I just have to send. Okay, I thought you were. I was not talking about the same thing you were talking about, apparently. No, you are good. Yours is ready to go. It is with the other batch, and you were getting 2 instead of 1 because of my being an idiot and not getting those shipped out in a reasonable amount of time, or thinking I did and didn't. So you are actually good. So yeah, we are good. Does anybody else have any questions? Let's see, we still have the shark available to bid on if you're in the US. And I know I had talked about wanting to figure out how to get it to where I could ship the giveaways, or not the giveaways, the live streams overseas. I'm not going to be able to. There's just I don't know why you guys, when you're outside of the US, shipping into the US, don't seem to have a problem. When I ship from the US out, it gets lost or hung up for like 6 weeks at least. It takes forever. People get mad because they don't, and I already take forever to get stuff shipped. You know if you've ordered from me. But it is a absolute, and I don't get tracking. Once it leaves the US, I don't know where that package is until it shows up. I'll get a notification when it shows up, but I don't know where it is along the way. So I have no idea, did it get lost? Do I need to replace this? I don't know what's going on, and it's not fair to the customer. So I just can't, I'm just not even, our post office sucks. I don't even know whose post office sucks. Something sucks somewhere along the way, and I just can't, I can't come up with an alternative. I could use a different shipping company, and the shipping gets insane. So plus if it gets damaged along the way, like, it's just such a hassle to try to get things sent from the US to other places that I have yet to find a good way to make that happen. And I don't know why my stuff gets hauled up, but not being able to have tracking information along the way, that's a problem for me. Like, I'm not comfortable with that. I had one lady God, this was like 15, 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. She knew that the item she bought, it was like $40 print. It wasn't even a big one, but she knew, I told her, I will send it to you. She was in the UK. I think she's UK. I said, it'll take at minimum 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks to get to you. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll do it. So we did it. Everything's fine. I think she waited about 3 weeks and started filing a complaint with PayPal wanting her money back because she claims I never shipped it. I gave her the shipping information, but like I said, the problem with shipping, when I send something with USPS, once it leaves the US, we have no way to track it until it arrives. Once it arrives, do I even get a notification when that arrives in the UK? I don't know if I did. I don't think I did get a notification. So I may be even wrong on. I don't think I get a notification when it arrives. So that was the other problem. I have no way of knowing if they got it or not. So if PayPal's like, hey, they said you didn't get it, how do I prove? Because it was in the US and it's like, just to protect myself. I just can't. So unfortunately, that is kind of an off the table thing for me at this point. I'm not gonna even try to ship overseas at this point because our post office sucks badly. That is not the word I was gonna use. We'll leave it there. So yeah, your fine mist sprayer started to spit. Are you doing something wrong? Soak it in hot water, take the lid off and soak it in hot water and see if that works. Now, if it's water, what are you spraying? If it's the Spectrafix, sometimes this will start to clog here and just soak it in hot water should clear it out. Run hot water through it, just clean it. You should be okay. What I would do if I wanted to clean this one is pour what's in here back in the original container of Spectrafix and just run hot water through it. Although mine is actually weird. Can you see how wrinkly, like you can kind of see all the little, it looks like shiny lines. The thing inside is all wrinkled. It's weird. I don't know, it still works. But my water ones have never done that. If it's water and it's doing it, you may just want to replace them. They're cheap. I don't know why it would start doing that, but if it's the Spectrafix, that will eventually, it can clog. I've never had to clean mine, not this one. I've had to clean other containers that I was using it to spray with, and just hot water will normally work that out. Flying Me to the Moon said, stand up and move if your back hurts. Actually, that's a good idea. We have our own little exercise at the end of the show. Seriously, oh my gosh. Oh, it's not happy. I mean, it's not going to be happy at all for the rest of the night. But oh, that feels, actually that hurts, but it's one of those it hurts so good type things. Let's see. DJ said, I'm not mad, I'm just excited to get it. I keep thinking it got lost. No, I'm an idiot and irresponsible, apparently. Let's see. Yeah, Clark Fine Art said the transition going through customs going out is crazy. Yeah, and it's just not practical for me. Like, I don't feel like I can give the best customer service to somebody in another country, and it sucks. And it's weird because I order things like on Etsy through other countries that handmade stuff, not like the Temu crap that's on Etsy. Good job, Etsy, on keeping things handmade. Such a terrible company with that stuff. But anyway, I'll get handmade stuff from people. Like there was, I think it was from Ukraine, was that where it came from? It was this cute little jumping spider, made like felt jumping spider. Cutest freaking thing. It did not take long to get to me. And it's like, if I ship the opposite direction, if I ship from here to there, oh my gosh. I mean, even the postcards take forever to get to you guys. I mean, they take forever because I take forever to ship them. But then once I do ship them, they take forever again. So only half of the forever is my fault there. But yeah, it is, I don't even know. John said, I used to sell on Etsy. They always made sure sales were the furthest thing away and the postal fees kept raising annually. Oh my gosh. Dolphin Soul said, when doing underwater paintings, just seeing a photo with only water around the subject, how do you know or plan how the lighting will look? Like, I would have thought the shark's belly be shadowed. So you know that the shark in that case, the shark has a light colored belly. His whole belly is light. It's not going to be as bright as the brightest whites on actually they're about the same. The brightest whites on his back are about what his white belly, because his belly is white, or white-ish. It's lighter than the rest of his body. So that's why that's going to be light. But when it comes to water, the light bounces all over the place. Let's say if he were close to the sand, the light would hit the sand and bounce back up and really illuminate his belly. So how to know what to do with that? Look at a lot of different photos and a lot of different environments and just see the way that the light bounces around all of these subjects. In my case, I've been doing, marine life was like my thing from the beginning. So I've done so many that it gets easier. The more you do, it'll get easier with that subject for you to know, oh, I can put light here and it'll look realistic. It'll look fine if I light the belly more than what the reference photo has. That comes with experience. Copy the reference photo in the beginning as close as you can, but find a good reference photo. But as you like the more you do, the more you'll get comfortable going, okay, this will look good if I make it lighter than what the reference photo has, just because I've done it that way in the past and I liked how it looked. So some of that really is going to be experience, but look up a lot of different photos. But when it comes to stuff in the water, remember that, let's say there's a sandy bottom, if the rays of light are hitting that, they're going to bounce right back up and illuminate the belly of whatever subject it is. So you're going to have that. You're going to have, in this case, they're just lighter on the bottom than they are on their back. So that's a big part of it too. Let's see. Snow said, Canson MeTense touch paper has a finely textured micro abrasive surface, while Canson MeTense paper does not. Interesting. I need to get some and try it. DJ said, when I ship something to the US, it takes about 2 weeks, 10 days to get there. I'm in Canada. Yeah, and if I ship it to you in Canada, 6 weeks. Like maybe earlier. Yeah, it's a problem. I don't understand why it's easier to get things into the US, but so hard for me to get things out. Like, yeah, it sucks. We've got 10 more minutes if you guys have any more questions. I'm trying to think. Oh, so my studio, we'll talk about that for a moment. So my studio, which I still need to do the studio tour on, I'm working on a different video right now, but I did the gallery glass windows, so I no longer have bright south-facing sun blasting through here, which is going to help. I'm going to be moving my reef tank, not my reef tank, my quarantine reef tank for my quarantine coral and inverts. It's about yay big. It's not a big one. It's a nano tank, 13.5 gallons. I'm going to move that over into the studio, which opens up some room in the office. So Tuna gets a bigger cage, and French Fry, who is currently a baby and an egg, little parrotlet I'm going to get, is going to be in a second cage in my office. They can't be together because Canary and Hookbill wins every time, so we have to keep everybody safe. But the cool thing is the parrotlet, which most likely his name will be French Fry, he will be able, like if I was working in charcoal, he could have been in here for that. The dogs wouldn't. I'll have to swap. You know, we'll play rotating pet depending on who's in there. So I know some of you are going to think, well, what about Chicken? So Chicken's not my bird. Chicken's Matt's bird. Chicken was never mine. Now, the nice thing with cockatiels is cockatiels will generally hang out with anybody in the house. They're not such a one-person bird. They kind of love everybody, but he's Matt's bird. He's not my Chicken. I love Chicken. Nothing will change there. He gets the same amount of attention, but the parrotlet will be my bird. So Nugget, I don't know if you've seen Matt has Nugget, the parrotlet. I want my own Nugget. Those are more one-person bird. Nugget will play with me, but he doesn't like hang out with me. I want one that wants to hang out with me all the time. So I'm very excited. And yes, I will get a little baby. It'll be a couple months because he's still an egg right now, assuming those eggs were fertile. The breeder said that they have 2 pairs right now that, and I don't even care what color. I'd rather not have green because I want to easily be able to tell mine from Nugget if they're in the room together. But I want a male because I want the same personality type that Matt's Nugget is, because I love that bird. But yeah, so I will have a new buddy to hang out with us sometimes during the stream, depending on what I'm working on. Like acrylics, no, I don't even know if I'd bring him in during acrylics. Graphite would be fun. Well, I don't do live streams with graphite. Pan pastels and colored pencils and charcoal are going to be the only ones I'm comfortable having him in the room for. So yeah, I'm excited. Very excited, and I'm excited when I realized today that if I move the tank, the quarantine tank out, which is better anyway, it's not great that my quarantine tank is in the same room as my main reef because there's always the possibility of cross-contamination there. So it's better than not having one at all, but it will be so much better. Plus it'll be beautiful in here because that's actually a really pretty tank, and it's small, so it's not going to be too much trouble to move. It's going to look beautiful in this room. So that's really cool. And the way that the lid is on that tank, when I airbrush, it's easy enough to turn the lights off and throw a towel over it because it won't, like, no airbrush or anything will get in it. So it all around it's going to be great. And that means Tuna's going to get a bigger cage, and French Fry will have a nice cage too. So it gives me a lot more space in the office. Super excited about that. And yeah, parrotlets are so fun. They have so much personality. So most likely, like unlike Chicken, I can't really bring Chicken. I can't work with Chicken because he's too much like on my hands and over here and biting everything. Whereas the parrotlet will be more likely to want to stay on my shoulder with me, so he can hang out a little bit more as long as I haven't been painting. If I've been painting in the room, it's not safe to bring the birds in, so you know, we have those things. But I'm very, very excited, and I'm really excited to show you guys the tour, which hopefully will be sometime in the near future. Oh, hi Dragon. I didn't know you were still up. I've got so much stuff changed from the last time I showed you the studio. It does not look like the same room. I mean, you can even see around me that it looks obviously a lot different, but this area that you can't see is the prettiest. And the tanks, oh my gosh, the dart frogs, that tank looks so much better. Everything in here, like bigger houses for everybody. I like to make houses for my animals, like big enclosures. I want it to be like nature, like they're in the wild, that they've got huge enclosures. So yeah, I like giving everybody upgrades, and yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah, that's my only story I can think of there. I'm really excited though to show you guys this off. I can't believe I'm adding one more thing to this. I thought that the studio was pretty much done, and now I'm over here going, and now it's gonna have a reef tank in it, a tiny reef tank. It has shrimp and my inverts, like that's where I quarantine that, and coral. So that will be fun, and I think the lighting will look really pretty in here. And I have one last thing I need to do in here is behind me, let's see, here. This area, I have some big branches I need to cut off the bottom of my tree, one of my trees. So I want to dry those out and hang lights, like remove all the leaves and stuff, and have lights, like ball lights hanging off of it. So that corner will look really pretty with the lights there eventually. So that's then that's pretty much all my plans, and replace one light over here I have for the office. So let's see. Even that's a good question. Dolphin Soul said spraying the Spectrafix is safe for the birds. Safe-ish. Safe enough that I would probably put the bird in, like, here, you go hang out. That's a good call. I would probably put him in the bathroom, be like, leave him in there for a second, spray it, let it air for a few minutes, and then we'd be fine. I don't want him breathing it in, but it settles really quickly. So good question there, but I can come up with a solution for that. I would not spray it when he was like right here. So yes, good call there. Inktense would also be safe. Watercolor and colored pencil would be safe. Well, so watercolor and colored pencil, usually when I do that, I also use, well, not on the live streams. If I use OMS, he can't be in here. I don't want a bird around OMS. So that would not work. Art by MB said, would love to see a video of you trying to do art with Chicken trying to sabotage. Oh my gosh. And Chicken's been in a mood anyway. He's wanting to breed with my feet. He flirts. He's not doing the deed, but he flirts constantly, and he gets aggressive when I leave. Like if I'm going to leave him, he is angry and I get bit. He has been in a mood for like a month now. So yeah. Yes, and I will definitely do I've got to do a new intro, not a new intro, but another intro, because we're not getting, like, Chicken's still got to be a part of the videos. But the baby bird will have, I've got a lot of plans. Going to be included in a lot more of the videos since it's my bird. And so, like, if I handle Chicken, if I handle Nugget, again, they're Matt's birds, so they're more bonded to him. Well, and especially in the case of Nugget. Whereas mine, it'll be easier for me to get him to do tricks and get him to do things that'll be cute for videos. So I'm very excited. Let's see. Watercolor would be okay so long as he doesn't drink the paint water. Yeah, I definitely would have to keep him out of that. Watercolor would be fine. And if I did color pencil without the OMS, would be fine. Let's see. Yes, toe fetish for sure, Dolphin Soul. He rubs his beak in between my toes, and let me tell you that it's not a comfortable experience. Like, he's not biting, but I don't want my toes touched, bird. He's funny. Chicken is funny. Let's see. Yeah, DJ, male veggies and cockatiels are very active. My cockatiel used to do it on my hand. Oh gosh, Chicken's never done that. Chicken doesn't actually try to do the deed. He just flirts and gets viciously angry if he thinks I'm going to leave the room. And it's like, I don't actually spend that much time because he's Matt's bird. He's with Matt all the time. But he's very too aggressive with me right now. So yeah, fun times. But I'm excited. I have, unfortunately, you know, like a 2-month wait before French fry would be ready to come. Hopefully these eggs are fertile. I'll see the breeder. There's a big pet expo. So if you're in the Dallas area, there is a big small animal pet expo going on I think in Dallas on, I think it's like the 15th, 16th, 17th, that weekend, whatever the 16th is. So that, I believe that breeder is going to be there. So I'm going to go talk, try to schmooze, make friends with them. I've met them once in person. So I chose them as the breeder I wanted to go with. I've been trying to talk myself out of a parrotlet for like 6 months since the last time I met them. And I'm working out all the reasons I think I don't need one. And I just can't, I gave up. I need my own bird. But I mean, I have tuna, but tuna doesn't like sit with me. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, 6 weeks to, well, about 6 weeks to wean, about 20 days to hatch, but I'm not sure when they were actually laid. So hopefully in a couple months, I will have French fry. Let's see. Oh, we are at 10 o'clock. Congratulations to whoever just won the shark. Yay for you. Yay for the shark. You get a home. Also, you're really pretty. So, you know, I'm happy for you. And a little bit jealous. So that's exciting. Next week is going to be a lion acrylic. I think that one's an acrylic painting of a lion. So we'll be doing fur and talking about how to create realistic fur. Very similar to the chicken, believe it or not. But yes, a lion next week. And make sure to check out the moderators' channels. Links are in the video description. And what else do we have? A lot of, if you like the chat with artists, you definitely want to check them out. Clark Fine Art and Joseph, they both have live streams every week here. And it's a lot of the same people in our chat are there, so you can keep chatting with each other, have some fun there. Definitely check them out. And I will see you guys. I think there was more I don't even know what else I needed to ramble about. I don't know. I'm done. I've got to go get more Patreon stuff done. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.